conclusion of the preliminary poll. A. This election is the fifth in electing the current PTforSikyong directly by the people after the charter was duly amended at the behest of His Holiness the Dalai Lama in 2001. During this election, all of us can take pride in our democratic polity due to the fact that the overall election process went smoothly except for few minor glitches. However, in order to sustain such success, it's incumbent on all of us to continue to shoulder our collective responsibility. As a candidate during the final round, I shall remain steadfast in following the commitments I made during the preliminary to strictly uphold and abide by the election rules and regulations and the directives of the Election Commission. B. During the preliminary round, many Tibetans have very dearly expressed their trust and hope in me by positioning me at the top of the ranking. My appreciation goes to all the voters who took part in the electoral process in a disciplined manner and with a sense of propriety. In keeping with the repeated advisories of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I hereby reiterate my commitment to spare no efforts to do my utmost to seek every possible means to fulfill the expectations of the general Tibetan public by enhancing the interaction between the Tibetan people and the Central Tibetan administration. C. On the 2nd of September 2020, when I first announced my decision to stand as a candidate for the Sikyong election, I called upon all the Tibetans to collectively work towards ensuring that the Tibetan election this time be an exemplary one. As a Sikyong candidate, the commitments that I've made after due deliberations were implemented as under. 1. I stuck to my commitment not to say anything good or bad about any other candidates and fully adhere to not comment on anything right or wrong by the incumbent administration. Likewise, I have no comment on supporters of other candidates while exercising their democratic freedoms and rights. 2. As I have stated from the beginning of the election process, I have always considered people's health and life more important than the prospect of winning some additional votes for myself. Therefore, until a solution is found to the COVID-19 pandemic, I will resolutely follow my decision not to undertake any physical visits to the Tibetan settlements for election campaign. Due to this, my election expenses were also low during the preliminaries. 3. Despite the challenges this time, I voluntarily decided to stand for election by putting my faith in the Tibetan public. I promised to present my vision and action plans directly to the Tibetan electorate. For this purpose, from the 17th of October to the 31st of December in 2020, I was able to make a total of 32 virtual presentations, both in Tibetan and English, on 10 subject matters across regions. My personal experiences, summaries, and programs with youth and women. Number 4. As promised during this election, apart from speaking directly to the general Tibetan public through the internet, I have not contacted any influential figure or individual for support. It's a matter of pride that all activities in different places, including prayer sessions, prayer flags, sanskrit, posters and banners, were undertaken by the general public on their own. I wish to express my gratitude to all those who by various means repose their trust in me. Number 5. From the very beginning of this election, except for one-on-one interview and town hall meetings organized by the mainstream media, I fulfilled my pledge to refrain from confrontational debates or events organized by social media groups. During the confrontational debates, each candidate is given only 2 to 3 minutes to answer complex questions from the media or argue over issues. Considering the present situation of the Tibetan community, I believe these events not only fail to reach a logical conclusion on major issues such as candidates' political positions, financial positions, or societal issues, or help to create awareness of the issues. On the contrary, it has the potential to create division within the community. I will continue to be bound by my decision. 6. Even though I have made repeated calls to be wary of the provocative few who instigate disinformation within the community and not to engage in discussions that may have personal or partisan bias. Some have engaged in it. I therefore wish to reiterate my call to everyone to ensure that the final phase of the election be free from partisan and divisive politics, but focus on the common good of all Tibetans.